My name's Heaney. I am currently working at the Department of Washington State Department of Labor and Industries. I've only been there less than a handful of years, and in the last 18 months or so, more than a year, the agency's going through some key changes within its IT and key business areas in encouraging communities of practice. And for a state agency, this is kind of an interesting thing because, as Rachel was talking about earlier, often where we have challenges in communication is where there are a lot of silos involved. And it kind of fits the stereotype. A state agency has that petri dish of isolation or rigidity to form, structure, and doing things because we've always done it that way. I was a developer a while ago. I think by this time it's just easy to say over 20 years. I've seen a lot of stuff, but the thing that always fascinates me and I get really curious about is when things go wrong. That was unexpected, and wrong is probably even the wrong term to use. Unexpected is interesting. So I've been playing with the idea of doing a paper for the conference. Maybe it's a little overdue. And communication is something that I have found again and again matters in bringing a team to a singular goal and accomplishing something outstanding. One of the things that we are trying to do in the way of community practices, where's my button here, is breaking out of the mold of what is kind of the institutionalized norm and sharing openly. Large meetings at the agency, being Labour and Industries, opens with a little traditional thing, the safety topic. And this year, this time of year, typically you'll get things like, be careful when you're walking on ice, bend your back or bend your knees when you're shoveling snow. What I want to talk about is a communication safety check. And it's a mechanism that I've tested with the project management office initially, and then with the embryonic community of practice, and I saw some very interesting things. It was unexpected, and I want to share that, and I'm going to share it in the format that it was given. And then we'll talk a little about that. But I do want to start with kind of like my own little quote here, with a reference. Each team member's perspective, when expressed openly, confidently, trustingly, with vulnerability, can have value sync for the team objectives, that group cadence, and also the individual performance. Value sync is a phrase used by Rob Saborin, who's talked at the conference a few years ago. Are we getting him back anytime soon, Brian?
He's on the radar.
All right, good. So here it is in the format that I would recommend you don't use. And if you start to see why, then you are forming an opinion. Jolly good. We want to hear that. But one of the things that is a challenge, and certainly for the introverts, shall we all raise our hands so we know who we all are, is that, and me being a Brit, where I come from, sometimes it's good to just say, you know what, that is a really daft idea. But you kind of want to go, oh no, I'm going to offend someone. I'm going to stand back, I'm just going to keep quiet. And it does not help. And the problem with holding back on an insight or a thought, even kind of in an abstract form, or just a blurt Yeah, I don't get it. Like Tom Hanks in Big, I don't get it. Is that you don't buy in. There's no WIIFM. There's no value sync. I'm not bought into this. I don't agree with that. You're not going to perform. So that introvert, you're fighting that internally. So this is my attempt at a meme. Let's improve. Actually, you can look at this, you can read it, you get the idea. You've seen this one before, but it's the idea of if we just take a little bit of mindfulness and listen a bit more, or try and understand a different perspective, then we won't find ourselves listening to someone at the front telling us how to do it all the time. There's an irony. I kind of made this as like, it's a little ironic to be listening to someone presenting when we've all got opinions, we've all got insights. So here's that communication safety check in its format. How safe is it for you to fully share your ideas during these meetings? Okay, that's a straightforward question. But when you consider that you're going to start a meeting and say, hey, how safe do you feel? Like, oh, okay, that's a really odd question. All right, do I feel safe telling you how safe I feel, or don't safe, or unsafe? So it's a very simple kind of check. The idea is that you show this kind of scale, and you do a secret ballot. Post-its, scribble on a piece of paper, pass to the person at the front, the lead, and they'll look at the numbers, tot them up, and they go, oh, okay, we've got some people in here who are really feeling unsafe. Notice the numbers there. This is, by the way, this has its basis in the Project Management Book of Knowledge, PMBOK, which is the section on assessing communication styles. There's a little bit of agile methodology in there, and I would have to give a nod to Dave Thompson, Pragmatic Dave, if you're familiar, who busts the idea. Here's one of the signatures on the manifesto, and he's done these sort of apology tours saying, that's not what we meant. Agile is dead, long live agility. And this is an idea of having agility in the way that we think about how we communicate. So you tot up the numbers, and then you can share with the team. Say, hey, so, you know, there are some people here, no names, but who are perhaps grandstanding, who are getting the opportunity to stand in front of a crowd and talk about what they've tried. So which members of this team do you think are offering the most advice and helping drive where things are going? Which team members do you think are having direct and ongoing dialogue with each other? Who are getting the most value from that input? Having that stand, having the soapbox all the time. The problem is even the introverted folk, to feel part of it all, will say, oh, I'm not introverted, I've got no problem. The problem is it's an artificial test, and when it was actually tried, it didn't quite go down like a lead balloon, but because it was so fabricated in the way that it was delivered, it was not effective. But it's still an important qualitative measure. So key KPI for project success, and the way that I've been trying to apply it is individually, mindfully. When I'm in a meeting, when I'm hearing something, when discussion's going on, and I find myself saying, you know, I've got a problem with that, and I feel hesitant to convey it. that introvert then has a bit of a sword to wave around, because that introverted nature gives you the opportunity to examine and be mindful and actually work your way back to a point where you can break out of that and wave the extrovert and say, look, this is how I feel, think, and my own insights have value to be able to help drive this. So, a communication safety check in context has value. I think the best context is individually, something you can ask yourself, well, when you find I have a problem, but I have a problem with what's being discussed, but I also have a problem in how to express my problem with it. Or when you are with a team and maybe you notice, like a lot of Agile is, let's have these events, let's have this structure, let's do stand-ups, let's just talk about what I'm working on, what I hope to accomplish, and what I'm blocking. When it becomes so rigid like that, that's got to be that people are thinking, this is not working. Shake the Agile, get agility. Thank you. Questions?
Thanks, Sean.